Well, I will tell you, it was I was in a hotel room in the New Sano Hotel in Tokyo, where I was on a visit to U.S. Forces Japan, and I got the call that morning from the chairman that he selected me, and at that time I was so happy and so humbled that the chairman had this amount of confidence in me to select me to be his senior enlisted advisor. And it also excited me because now I'll have an opportunity to influence more service members and their families at a global scale now. So it was, I was a little numb after I got the call, and you know, a little Skype session with my wife afterwards really made it, you know, that the realization that we were going to do this. And I was just so humbled and so excited that the senior officer in the Department of Defense had the confidence in me to hire me to be his senior enlisted advisor. Well, I think the opportunity to serve here in a multinational, combined, joint environment where we are here to defend the peninsula and we have to be ready to fight tonight, the ability for me to bring in all of the components, all of the services of the U.S. forces here, but also couple them with all of the components of the ROC military here in developing a combined and joint enlisted team that is synergistic and powerful, and also to develop programs that get after the development of non-commissioned officers and petty officers in a joint and combined environment. At this scale here in the Sub-Unified Command, it prepared me because that's exactly what I'll be doing as the senior enlisted advisor to the chairman, is continuing to develop the enlisted force of the joint forces across DOD and develop those men and women to continue to drive on and reach their full potential and get them comfortable operating in a joint and multinational environment. First of all, for a command senior enlisted leader at any level, the first thing they have to learn and understand is what their boss's vision and priorities are. And as I've looked at what the chairman's letter to the force that soon after he took over as the chairman, he's focusing on 3 areas, and that's restoring joint readiness, improving joint warfighting capabilities, and developing leaders for joint forces next. And from my position in influencing the enlisted force, I have to arm myself with priorities that complement his focus areas. So that kind of breaks down into processes, programs, and people. And as far as the people aspect, developing leaders for joint forces next, I have to continue to push the policy we have in place that gets after senior enlisted joint professional military education, all the way to our capstone course of Keystone. But I also have to look for innovative ways and engage the service senior enlisted leaders and the combatant command senior enlisted leaders for how we can continue to develop leaders at an earlier age or an earlier time in their service that exposes them to the joint environment. Additionally, I have to continue to be out visiting those that assist us in developing our programs for the future, to make sure that we are modernized military. So with industry and the other professionals that assist us on staying on the cutting edge of technology, that's something that I have to keep in mind too. And then when we talk processes on how we do business, how are we doing business every day to get after that restoring joint readiness and improving our joint warfighting capabilities? Well, that boils down to how we as a force can be globally responsive but regionally aligned, and then what we're doing in that regional alignment. For instance, here in the Pacific, we've been executing the President's rebalance in the Pacific here for several years. And we've done a lot of things in terms of partnering with exercises and bringing forces into foreign countries to work. But we've also done exercises that's got after bettering our joint warfighting capabilities. So those are the things that I have to continue to focus on, and those will be the areas that I get after that will continue to complement and allow the chairman to get after his focus areas.